Alright, so today we're talking about college. Is it worth it? Is it not? Now, I skipped college, but she didn't, so we have two different perspectives in the same room on the same video. Let's do this.
Is college worth it?
Absolutely. I love debt.
I can agree with Yeah, I love debt. No cap.
Is college worth it?
No. I got my current job that pays me about $40,000 a year without any college experience.
Is college worth it?
No.
Why?
Stress, money, more stress.
Is college worth it?
It's worth it if you understand that getting a degree won't do anything for you. You have to work alongside the degree as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, those were some pretty smart kids there. It's funny that they were roasting their own debt.
Yeah.
But clearly it sounds like they also understood understood the plan. They understood the assignment, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That a degree is just one step of the whole thing.
Yeah, you can't expect for it to carry you. You actually have to put it to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like, put it to use. What you actually wasted those 2, 4, 6, 8 years.
10, possibly.
Yeah. You know?
And then also, where the hell did Spider-Man come from? Was he just there? Like,
That's a side job.
was he paid to be
Because
there?
when you're in college, you got to have a side gig to sustain.
I guess. Yeah, he was being Spidey. Spidey appearances for the low. Now, when I got to researching, is college worth it or not? What kept coming up is Amazon starting to pay $35, but every single person in the comments was saying,
No,
they not. No, they not. What job is you working?
And normally those jobs that tell you at Amazon that it's $35, you either have to have a college degree for them to even consider you, or you have to be within that company and like climb the ladder to get to that pay. They're not just starting you off at $35 off the road. Like everybody would be signing up for Amazon right now. I can only imagine the work and stress that they would put on them to make $35 an hour as an Amazon worker.
Somebody said starting February 31st. Yeah, that's not a date.
$35 an hour to get 12 hours a week.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be the thing too. Yeah, we're doing 35 an hour, but you're not going to get shit. You're definitely not going to be full time.
You're going to work 10 hours a week.
More power to you if you think this is possible. Hey, if this is what makes you go to Amazon and get a job, more power to you.
Only 49% of Americans still think university is worth it. And the reason why might actually surprise you. It's called relative value. As it turns out, we're smarter than the universities. So if you see here on this graph, in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, college room plus board cost you about 40 to 45K. But when you graduated, you earn about 40 to 45K a year. Today, the average earnings for a 4-year college graduate is 55K. Here's the issue. The average tuition and board cost for a 4-year university is $142,000.
I guess you're going to be a doctor because I don't know what school you're going to do for that price.
$100,000.
Or you're going to Stanford, Harvard.
$10,000.
Yeah, those
The
type of
relative value
prestigious
has gone way
colleges.
down as the cost has gone up. No wonder enrollment is at all-time low.
I think college is worth it if you're going to actually pursue that degree that you're going for and you're going to make a difference and a change with it that can not only help you but help others. Some people just go to college just for the experience, and then there's some that go to actually get that degree and put their foot forward. So it just depends.
It says ROI does not make sense. No, ROI does make sense. If you're going to put $200,000 into going to college and then you make $50,000 a year, your ROI, your return on investment is terrible. You don't want to do that. If you want to go to school, what you want to do is spend $30,000 a year or $30,000 to go to school for 4 years and end up making $100,000.
Yeah.
That's an ROI. You still have to look at it and think, I can't pay, you shouldn't pay $300,000 for a liberal arts degree or something like that.
Yeah, not at all.
And come out of school hoping to get a job being an artist. Like, that's not...
Yeah,
you can if that's what you want to do for yourself, but you're going to regret it.
Be on grind mode.
Yeah. ROI is simply like if I go to school and pay $50,000 to become an accountant and I start making $100,000 a year with that degree, that's a good return on investment, especially if you save your money and use it wisely. You'll actually get out of that hole.
Yeah, but I don't think a lot of college students even think of that because no one really prepares them for that, for an ROI.
That's when you start to understand it's all a scam because all they try to sell to you is, oh, you'll get a job. Oh, we'll help you get a job. Don't worry, just sign up for this loan, come to this school, and we'll get you a job. Even people we know talking about, I'm gonna make $150,000 when I'm done with this degree, when it's like, of course that degree, and the people selling that degree are trying to tell you that. They want you to believe that. They're going to say that without a question.
But you're
gonna
going to
make
work for
100.
that.
Yeah, but
You're going to work for that 150.
if it was as easy as where you're just going to make 600,000, if you just
We
spend
would all be
400,000,
lined up.
everybody would line up to do it. There's a reason. There's a gap in the market. There's
Mm-hmm.
somebody isn't getting the jobs that they're paying to get.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's paying for degrees where they end up not getting the job. And there's also people who pay for the degree and get the job and everything is perfect.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's two sides to it.
Do you think it's a waste of time to even go to college? Or
College is there's two sides to it. If you want, I have two children, right? Okay, and a step as well, right? If you want to be professional, doctor, a lawyer, or something else, like my daughter's a psychologist, right? Where a license is required.
It is,
And
definitely.
of course, you should go to college and
you need those
go
hours.
down the path and do whatever courses you got to take to get licensed. And now you want to be an accountant, a lawyer, right? That's one thing, right? If you have no entrepreneurial side to you and you want to go and get an MBA or something, you can do that. But if you're someone else that is going to do either into the trades or you want to be an entrepreneur, music, like my son's a musician in music, right? I don't think there's any reason to go to college. I think college is a complete waste of time with ridiculously, pumped up tuitions that are just asinine, if you ask me. So I would never recommend someone to go to college unless they want to choose that path. For my daughter, it made sense. For my son, it didn't.
But also understand, this is the Wolf of Wall Street talking. This is the guy that they made the movie about. That's who that was talking. So there's not a guy who has small amounts of money to make things move. That's also what I would say, just to understand about the video. I think what he said is right. But also, it's coming from a guy who's made some incredible amounts of money.
And
in his
everyone's
life.
not that lucky.
Yeah, everyone's not that
we're
lucky.
talking about 1%.
Everyone's not that driven. Everybody
Yeah.
doesn't have that many resources. So he's talking about, yeah, of course, yeah, send him to school.
If you're going to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, and all that, you do need licenses. You need to be certified by the state and everything. But if you're going to be the art teacher, don't go get a credit. I'm not saying don't go to school. I'm saying don't go get no theater art degree that's going to cost you like
Useless.
$150,000 degree that you don't need. It's just like me. I went to school for fashion. I do not use my degree.
There's also a threshold to it. Like you probably you took out a much more like comparable amount of student loans as compared to people coming out of school for arts degrees
but
with
I had the
$200,000
knowledge
loans.
of what I was doing too.
Yeah.
I knew that, I want to go to a private college. I know it's going to cost me this amount of dollars and I don't want to put my people in debt. So I need to make sure I have a part-time job. I need to make sure I'm able to get back and forth, make sure I'm able to take care of myself without putting a sustainable amount of stress on me to actually get through it. So yeah.
But there's also people out here on the regular basis going to be graphic designers for $200,000.
Yeah, and that's
that is
crazy.
Insane.
What'd you go to school for?
I went to trade school to be an electrician.
What do you want to do in the future then, I guess?
Honestly, I just kind of find different ways to make money. I don't like to focus on one thing because then you get kind of caught.
Good.
Would you say like school, like trade school, or like just going to college for undergrad is worth it in your opinion?
In my opinion, college probably not, unless you really focus like and actually go and see it through. Not if you feeling iffy about it, probably not. But trade school, I feel like is kind of more than likely definite because they help you get a job and shit like that. I feel like it's a little better.
Yeah, and also it's less expensive.
It was free.
Free for you?
They paid me.
Oh, they paid you?
Yeah, they paid me $1,000 when I graduated.
Someone said, "Where's this at? I'm paying $300 a month in my trade school." Dude, $300 a month is still insanely low. Stay there.
Yeah.
Get the trade and start making money.
I went to a high school that had a trade school connected to it, so it was like the best thing. I mean, majority of the people that I went to school that went for trades, they hopped right out of high school being like electricians and carpenters and mechanics and hairstylists, which was pretty dope because it took me about a couple years before I started making money. They started making money right away.
He said he got paid to do the course. Usually what that is though is you're like signing a contract with a company to learn whatever they want you to learn. But also I'm
pretty sure he had to honor that contract just like you have to honor a contract when you sign it to go to college, that if I don't complete this, I'm going to owe you guys this money.
One comment says, so he's got nothing going on, dog. It says electricians make $60,000 a year. That's nothing.
Oh, that's a lot.
Everything is from perspective because if you make $60,000 a year and you save $30,000 a year and you're 25, 30, 35, 40, you can retire with buku money, like buku millions of dollars. It depends on what you do with life. Also, like how people make $100,000 a year
and be broke,
can't retire because they just spend every dollar every year.
As someone with a 4-year college degree and $15,000 in student loan debt, Do I recommend college? It's no secret that the cost of college and the jobs and they're willing to pay, that it's not even, okay? I also think a lot of people mistake going to college as like, oh, you're automatically going to get a job, but that won't happen. In fact, when it comes to getting a job, I'm convinced that your personality and your people skills will take you so much farther than your education. Here's the dilemma. Yes, I recommend college if you do not have to pay for it out of pocket. Meaning, if you can go on a soccer scholarship, whether that's like an athletic scholarship or...
Yeah, whatever. Everybody doesn't get a scholarship, but also right when she started talking, 15,000, it says 15,000, you're in great shape.
Yeah,
15K is nada.
Yeah.
However, people should just go to community college and then a state school.
If that's all I had to come out of pocket, sign me up. And then, I mean, is it worth it? Yeah. Just like she said, your personality and everything will get you further. Yeah, and it'll get you 10 times further with a degree.
Yeah, if you have a great personality, you're a very talkative person, and you have a degree, now you're pretty much unstoppable.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's kids who go through college and probably come out with a crazy smart degree and have no personable skills that they can actually use when they're in the interview. They're probably tripping over their words and can't talk right, aren't very likable. And it's like something like that could end up botching your whole... Now you're not going to get the $200,000 job because you're not even a likable person.
Yeah.
You're smart as hell, but I can't talk to you. How useful is that?
Yo, so whoever tried to tell a whole generation of kids that going to college will save them, I just want to let you know that you're silly. And you're mistaken. You're a silly mistake. Listen, I'm off of college and getting your degree, but make sure you have a plan. Because
make sure you have a plan.
Push your hairline back a few inches. And you wouldn't like that. See, the pursuit of higher education with no clear direction is just the pursuit of wall decoration. Some expensive ass wall decoration. So please reconsider. Just be mindful of all the people telling you to go to school and that you'll figure it out once you graduate. Because once you graduate, you might have your little debt and some love handles, but no job. And the most they can do for you is a congratulatory Facebook post. Like, turn the music up.
Yeah.
This is mindless behavior. Then the craziest part is trying to find a job. But just check me out real quick. When I got my degree, the plan was to take a gap year to work and earn some money before I go to grad school. But a gap year ended up being a little bit bigger than Slick Woods, you feel me? First job I applied to told me that I was overqualified. Have you ever had a job deny you because you...
Which that mean that wasn't the room for you to be in. You were overqualified.
It's cold and empty. You're making a villain. Oh, what was the very second job I applied to was an entry-level job where having a bachelor's degree was encouraged but not required. They rejected me and told me it was because I lacked the experience.
Yeah, it could be that too.
You're an entry-level job. You damn plot device. You are the experience.
You need 5 years experience. It's like, you are the experience. How do I need experience to work at McDonald's? How do I get that? Hire me and see.
Yeah.
I can't get experience. What, I go to Burger King first and then come to McDonald's? What the fuck?
Well, I get them, like some of those jobs where it's like you don't have to have a bachelor's degree, but you have to have experience. That means you have to have enough experience equivalent to a bachelor's degree, which is understandable if you don't have a degree. Because the person with the bachelor's degree is probably going to end up getting the job, even though and you might have got it because you had more experience than the person with the bachelor's degree, but you have no experience. So now you have to kind of like work your way up. So
that makes me think of trade schools where there's some people who go and go to 4 years of school to lay brick, and then there's guys who just learned that from their dads and become that exact thing. No license, no nothing. He just knows how to lay bricks, and that's how he makes his money.
Yeah.
But other people are negative $50,000 in a trade school to learn to lay bricks. It's odd. It's odd. Your experience does mean a lot, and sometimes...
That's why you better go to OTech.
Yeah, you better go to a technical campus if your high school has it.
Yeah, if you want to do a trade and you're in high school, you better find a program in your area. What is like 2 years, a year and a half. You can start in like the 10th or 11th grade. And by the time you get out of high school, you already have your career. You don't even have to waste time.
College when I was 18.
Yeah, my sister don't even want to go to college.
I was knee deep in these streets. At 18.
Gang.
On some real shit, bro. I'm a motivator. I was valedictorian in high school. Y'all know that.
See?
But fuck college, bro. I'm being 100, bro. Just because it's like, after going to college and just realizing the classes I was paying for. I'm talking about, nigga, I was taking bowling classes, bro. It was like a necessity for me to go bowl at this gym every day, bro. Or every Tuesday or some shit like that. And I was like, bro, how much am I paying for this shit? Because they don't tell you. You know what I mean? College is 100% a business, bro. I wish I could open up a college.
Yeah.
My shit would be beneficial, though. But I'm saying, like, I know so many people that went to school, like even some of my old homies and shit, like they've been in school for so long, graduate and don't do shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck did you spend all that, and then they ain't 50,000 in debt? It's like, bro, you got out of school when you was what, 22, 23, and you ain't got no cheese. Now it's like, nigga, what you gonna do now? Nope, they don't want to hire you because you know what I'm saying? What you graduate with? Biology?
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, bro, what you going to school for biology for? Do you even know what you gonna be?
Like science.
But what are you going?
No, he looking. He's like, yeah, science.
Don't even know.
Everybody ain't a rapper. Everybody ain't a YouTube star. Everybody ain't a model. Everybody ain't a designer. Everybody ain't a doctor or a lawyer or a nurse with a drug dealer. I'm just saying. I can't pay off my student loans. Yes, you can. You didn't want to pay off them student loans. That's the difference. Y'all be sitting here complaining, talking about I'm $50,000 in debt. Well, what did you do that whole time in school? You just went to school. You didn't work a part-time job. You didn't try to pay down them loans. Yeah. That's your fault. Don't put it on the people that actually paid the shit off.
And that's why they say average school teachers are relatively more wealthy than the average doctor, because doctors get out of school thinking they're wealthy as hell.
Start buying
never pay them, get a Benz, get a Beamer, get a Bentley, get a Rolex, but never consider the fact they're going to have to pay off their school loans.
All of a sudden, Tony Montana.
Yeah, now they're 55, still a doctor. Never paid off the school loans. It's still accruing interest. Are you dumb? Pay it off.
The method for me was, while I'm going to school, I'm going to get a little part-time job, which I did. Every little money that I got, I put towards my student loan. And then on top of that, every job that I had or anything that I worked, I put towards my student loan. So I paid it down the entire time. Instead of me going on trips or going study abroad or going to the club or buying like new shoes and stuff, I was paying down my debt because I'm like, I just took out this money. I don't want this weighing over my head for the rest of my life. Like, a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's there. I got 15 years to pay it off. Like, don't do that. Don't get in that mindset. Don't listen to people like that. And don't be like, I can't work no part-time job. Yes, you can. You choose not to. You want to be lazy and not work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the least you can do if you can't pay off your, college loans, the least you can do is click this video. This is what YouTube thinks you should be watching next. This video right here. Okay?
Right there.
Click that, because if you can't pay off the loans, okay,
then you might need this little bit of advice.